third time in the last 2 seasons, the Los Angeles Rams are a road favorite. To be a road favorite on a short week could be speaking to the changing culture in that franchise. But we could be reading too much into this as well, and the San Francisco 49ers could be just plain awful. Whatever the case, the Rams are 2-point favorites for Thursday Night Football in Week 3. The total opened at 41.5 and has even been bet down. So if you are looking for a more exciting Thursday Night Football game than last week's Texans vs. Bengals horror show, you'll probably have to wait another week. This game features 2 first-year head coaches who are trying to incorporate elements of complex offensive schemes. One team has a second-year quarterback, the other has a veteran trying desperately to hold on to a starting quarterback gig. It makes for some good storylines, though probably not good football. The Rams are 1-1 straight up and against the spread with a nice Week 1 win over the lowly Colts, but they have a home loss as a favorite to the Redskins this past Sunday. The 49ers are 0-2 straight up, but 1-1 against the spread as the defense has played fairly well in the first 2 weeks, but the offense has been a disaster. In the world of misleading final scores, not many in the NFL stood out quite the way the Los Angeles Rams Week 1 win over the Colts did. Sure, it was a 46-9 shellacking, but the Rams only managed 5.8 yards per play and were anchored by 2 pick sixes from Scott Tolzien, who was feeling particularly generous in that game. The Colts were 0 for 10 on third downs, so the Rams ran 64 plays to Indianapolis's 49. It was a promising showing for Jared Goff in the pass-happy Sean McVay offense, but the Colts aren't a good measuring stick. After Week 2, it's hard to figure out how to evaluate the Rams. They also managed 6.8 yards per play against the Redskins defense. The problem was that the Redskins ran 68 plays to Los Angeles' 49 and had the ball for over 36 minutes of the game. Goff was only 15 of 25, but still threw for 224 yards, and Todd Gurley found a lot of running room with 5.5 yards per carry. The numbers certainly make us feel like this was a successful performance for the Rams offense, but facing Scott Tolzien and the Colts in Week 1 led to a lot of lipstick being placed on the pig. Week 2 seemed to serve as more of a reality check, but this week against the 49ers is not a whole lot tougher, so it may be a good time to back the Rams. The problem with the Rams was their defense, which allowed 5.9 yards per carry on 39 rushing attempts. Kirk Cousins only threw for 156 yards, but the Redskins owned the point of attack and also won the turnover battle. Los Angeles only had a couple of sacks and a few additional pressures, as they just didn't get enough push from the line of scrimmage. 2 data points isn't enough to make many concrete determinations in the NFL, but it does seem like the Rams' offense may be ahead of the defense, which is borderline astonishing. There simply isn't enough explosive play potential for the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's concepts and play designs are some of the best among his NFL peers, but he just doesn't have the ingredients that he needs to make a completed dish. Through 2 games and 62 pass attempts, the longest pass play is only 22 yards. Pierre Garcon has 2 receptions of 20 plus, and nobody else even has 1. Carlos Hyde has 2 rushes of 20 or more yards. In fact, Hyde has 169 yards on 24 carries and has busted a couple of long runs, but the 49ers need more in the passing game. Hyde has accounted for 169 on the ground and 51 through the air. The 49ers have 465 yards in total with just 4.6 yards per play. But even in today's pass-happy offense favoring NFL, trying to move methodically down the field without chunk plays just doesn't work. Brian Hoyer at quarterback has completed 62.9% of his throws and has shown a comfort level in the Shanahan offense, which is no surprise since the two were together in Cleveland a few years ago. But there's nothing to take the top off of a defense. There's nothing to force the safeties to respect anything deep. It makes an offense very easy to defend against, and the 49ers are very easy to defend right now, with 0 offensive touchdowns through 2 games. The 49ers defense has been really strong. Carolina was held under 300 yards in Week 1 and only managed 4.6 yards per play. The Seahawks only had 3.9 yards per play, and the 49ers got a ton of push up front against a porous Seattle offensive line. Russell Wilson was running for his life for most of that game. The problem was that Wilson can do that and still have success, so the Seahawks had the ball for nearly 37 minutes of game action. Through 2 games, the 49ers offense is 4 for 23 on third down, so the defense has logged major minutes and has faced the second most plays, trailing just Kansas City. The 49ers won't be facing a mobile quarterback this week after facing Cam Newton and Russell Wilson. If they can get the same push against the Rams, it could make life difficult for Jared Goff, who is still learning that new offense. You have to respect certain elements of what both of these teams have done through the first 2 weeks. The Rams have more to show for it, but they also played one of the league's worst teams. The 49ers have played two teams that could very well win their divisions. The offensive problems aren't going to be fixed on a short week, but the 49ers do have a friendlier week without having to travel and should be confident after holding their own against the Seahawks. The fact that Brian Hoyer is a veteran and has more familiarity with the Shanahan offense than sophomore quarterback Jared Goff has with his new offense is the deciding factor here in taking the short number. Our pick and prediction is for San Francisco at +2. For our pick and prediction on this game and every other game this week, and a wealth of free stats and information, check out bangthebook.com.